You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Neri here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of NeveN, Akhet's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. God, it's been that long. Good lord. Yeah, it really has been a while since we played, haven't we all? Okay. I'll try and amend that and play this way more often. Okay. Could you be a bit more specific? We talked about a lot of things. The red rises to his cheeks as he offers me his next response. I was thinking about letting you see if you can figure out something more than just sleeping on my feathers. Oh. Are you sure? It's been a long day, and I think it'd be a very nice way to end it. I wouldn't suggest it if I wasn't sure. It's just that I don't know if I'll be able to, go through with it. Don't worry. We'll stop as soon as you wish. What to do? What do you want the bird to do? What the bird do? Do the bird is what you gonna do. What to do. Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna have to edit a lot of this, but we'll see. We'll see. I get up and approach him, gently caressing his cheek as I rest my forehead against his. Actually, let me make a separate save for that. So the page 3 will be NSFW. Actually, page 9 should be NSFW. Alright. Alright. Okay. Save that one right there. Alright. I think I'll probably save that one for the Patreon, so let's go ahead and skip that scene. Alright. Oh. After quickly cleaning up the traces of our actions, we lie down again in my bed, snuggled up against each other. I gently rub my muscle against Akhet's neck, once again enjoying the softness of his feathers. I was right. About what? It's a great way to end the day. Something tells me this night will go off without a hitch. He smiles at me again, and I feel a hint of guilt pierce my chest. Even if I slept perfectly tonight, it wouldn't help my situation, and Akhet doesn't know. I'm hiding something that big from the one I just said I love. I know it's against the king's orders, but I don't want to go on like this any longer. Akhet, there's something I need to tell you. It's important. Nothing serious, I hope. Yes, it is. I'm afraid it's very serious. And I start to tell him everything. The dream, Tess, the avatars, Tinnock's role in the whole thing, and mine as well. The fact that some of them are out there and probably want to kill me. I see his smile quickly disappear, replaced by concern. I've probably ruined what had been so far a good time, but I couldn't keep quiet. Once my tale is finished, Akhet remains silent, thoughtful. Then he plunges his gaze into mine and speaks. And you were asked to keep quiet about all this? Yes. Why tell me then? I couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer. It would have meant lying to you, even if it was by omission. I've already lost someone because I refused to face reality. I don't want that to happen again. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's beyond me, but thank you for being honest. Now I can see why you've been sleeping so badly. Yeah, and that's probably what the whole cat incident was about too. I'm just on edge because there's nothing I can do to change the situation. I've got one of the most powerful brands in the kingdom, and I'm not bloody safe with it. Akhet's arms wrap around me, holding me close. If there's one thing I've learned in my training with Father, it's that it's not the power of a brand that really matters. It's what you train it for and how you use it. My brand isn't very big, and you know how much I can hurt someone with it. Because I was trained to do it, because I was forced to learn it. But for you, it's simply not in your nature. As big as your brand is, as strong as it is, you are first and foremost an artist. If fighting isn't what you do, it's not who you are. So it's normal to be worried. At least I think so. I know that if I were you, I wouldn't be able to move. He smiles fondly at me as he rubs his beak against my muzzle. You know, my reaction has always been to run away. I left home after my quarrel with Vigo, and when Rhaegor took me in, I thought about leaving several times. Even when those bandits attacked us on that road, all I could think about was a way out for both of us. But you didn't escape after all that trouble. I thought about it, I really did. I nearly left, in fact, abandoning everything to disappear on the roads. And what made you stay then? For once, I took the time to think before doing something. It's like some things can change, doesn't it? I realized that I was protected here, even if everyone knows where to find me. That running away wouldn't protect you from an avatar who wanted to come here looking for me. That I couldn't just leave you behind. You mean too much to me. I've already broken someone's heart once, and I have no desire to do it again. There's more to it than that, but more reasons why I don't want to leave. Not anymore. But I don't know how to express them. It's just a feeling, a longing. I don't want to be who I was anymore. I want to be better, for me, and for Akhet. I'm obviously glad you stayed, and I'm even happier that you're being honest with me. There's not much I can do, not much I can do to help you. I can only repeat the promise you yourself made to me. Whatever happens, whether these avatars come or not, I'll be by your side. And you'll help me kick their asses. They won't even come close to you. A small laugh escapes my lips. I'm sure they're shaking. They better be. I smile as I rest my head on his chest, lowering my ears so they don't cover his face. For all that I love them, these big things can have their downsides in such situations. Akhet slides his talons down my back, scratching me gently with the tips of his claws as he keeps me close to him. I might have something that could take your mind off it. You're working hard enough on it right now. I forbid you to stop doing what you're doing to my back. I had no intention to stop. You know, I was just thinking that tomorrow we could go back to the inn we went to the first time, near the flower shop. You mean the one where you accomplished what I've never been able to do by giving Sven one of the most magnificent slaps I've ever seen? I'd rather it wasn't the first thing that popped into your head. I'm not particularly proud of it. Ooh, but I am. It was glorious. Ellois? Alright, I'll stop. But yes, there. I remember they had a stage, and it was relatively quiet. Maybe we could go, just you and me. We could keep it to ourselves and just sing together. Not as royal bards or representatives of our kingdoms or anything of the sort. Just two bards enjoying the moment. You know what? I think that's a great idea. We just need to find a way to get there without... I'm interrupted by someone knocking on my door. By the gods, what is it again? We're in the middle of the night. I wouldn't go that far, but it's late indeed. At first, I'm of the opinion to ignore the person in front of my door, but they knock again. Lord Ellois? With a grunt, I get to my feet and head for the door, abandoning Akhet briefly, or so I hope, on the bed behind me. Ellois? What? You're not going to open the door like that. You're completely nude. I know, but it's in the middle of the night. I'm in my room, and if I want to be naked, I'll be naked. But what will people say? Well, I'm a noble now, aren't I? Technically, anyway, and there's no noble without a hint of scandal. Besides, I'm sure you're enjoying the view. I shake my ass briefly, which makes Akhet redder than ever. Even after what we've just done, he doesn't seem to be any different. I notice, however, that he doesn't look away. It seems that his embarrassment is not preventing him from enjoying the show. So, my noble birdie is interested in my butt? What a useful piece of information. I'll definitely have to use it later. I'm off to open the door without stopping waddling my rump. I've always enjoyed making a spectacle of myself, after all. Once the door is open, I find myself face to face with a greyhound of a certain age, who quickly looks me up and down, never losing his impassive expression. I expected a bigger response, and such an absence of reaction would almost make me feel offended. Lord Ellois? That's me. It's the middle of the night. What's going on? I come from the Ambassador Tenok. I have news he wishes to share with you. Tenok? He'd like to tell me something at this hour of the night and wouldn't bother to come himself? It's strange, to say the least. I imagine it must be important. He wished to inform you that Lady Simi has been arrested, after a public confession regarding the attack on the Akkadian caravan last month. He seemed to feel that this information was urgent. What? I'm sorry, what? Oh, I didn't see you were with someone. It's not... Simi's been arrested? This is the message I was asked to deliver, to you and to several other members of the court. So, if you'll allow me... Oh, yeah, off you go. The greyhound nods at me before leaving. I close the door and take a moment to think. This is ridiculous. Simi would never... No, I can't imagine anything like that. If they looked Simi up, you don't think she really would have killed all those people? No, not for a second. Then why confess? I don't know, Akhet. Simi hates the Akkadians. She doesn't really try to hide it, but she's not stupid, and she's not unreasonable. I know. The talk I had with her was more than pleasant. Exactly. I can't imagine her killing all those people. Then how? How could she have organized all this operation without anyone noticing? I know she's more than the sweet old lady she appears to be. I'm not an idiot, but the whole thing just seems improbable. Impossible. But if she confesses, the king as of the kings have little choice. Perhaps she's acting to protect someone. It seems the most logical. The only question would be who and why. Does she know something that we don't? I'd like to have just one single day without anything unexpected being thrown at us occasionally. I think that unfortunately we gave up that right the moment we accepted our position as royal bards. That's not going to stop my complaints. I'm afraid that alas they will never stop. He gives me a slight smile and I stick my tongue out at him in response. And I drop back onto the bed, quickly resuming my position, snuggled up against Akhet. Maybe I could try to visit her in the morning. Perhaps she'll agree to talk to me. You won't risk anything by trying in any case. You know what? I'll do that on our way to the tavern. Once I've talked to her, we'll both go and sing. Do you still want to do it? Of course. You said it would do us good, didn't you? And I intend to enjoy all the little pleasures this life has to offer. Akhet. Yes, Chapter 7. Doubt and Turmoil. It's with a sigh that I descend the stairs leading to the courtyard. Akhet decided to try and get some more rest, but I'm determined to see Simi. It was a difficult morning, more so for the bird than for me. I think my poor darling spent a good part of the night awake. Between the news of the arrival of his former tormentor and that of the imprisonment of the lady-in-waiting, yesterday was not an easy day for him. Not that I had a great time either. I just hope the whole imprisonment thing is a mistake. I refuse to believe that Simi could have provoked an attack. It's when I get to the heart of the castle's central courtyard that I suddenly realize there's a major problem. I haven't the slightest idea where the dungeons are, and whether that's where she's locked up. It's not particularly the sort of place I usually hang around. So it's probably in one of the areas of the castle I haven't searched, which limits the possibilities. So while letting my paws guide me, I pricked my ears to try and find my way around. After all, according to the stories, I should be able to hear the screams and wails of despair from the prisoners, shouldn't I? It is, however, an entirely different kind of voice that I end up hearing after rounding the corner of a wall. Voices that are much more familiar to me. Tinnock, please, don't make a scene. A scene? Come on, that's not my style. I was just trying to visit an old friend. I approached, curious, and come across the prince and the ambassador chatting in a relatively discreet corner of the corridor, but not enough to escape the gigantic ears sticking out of my head. These big things have to serve some purpose. It's the prince who notices me first, running his hand over his face when he sees me. This day is... What are you doing here, Ellois? Good morning to you too, my prince, and I'm looking for the dungeons. I heard that Simi has been in prison, so I wanted to pay her a visit. You too? There, you see. The royal lady-in-waiting simply has too many friends. I understand you're worried about her, I really do, and I wish the situation were different too, but in your case... He turns to glance briefly at Tinnock, who just smiles wider. I know perfectly well what you're trying to do. I don't see what... But that doesn't change the facts. Simi is accused of a serious crime, that of treason against the kingdom. This action is therefore punishable by death. Is it that serious? The attack on the convoy could have provoked a war between your two nations, in addition, of course, to the murders of the various Maccadian envoys. I have to admit, though, that I find it hard to believe Simi was responsible for everything. Me too. I know she hates the Maccadians, but she's managed to forgive Akhet. Look, it's just... A long sigh escapes from the bear's lips. The situation is complex, much more than it first appears. The evidence is hard to deny, and Simi herself has confessed. Whether we think she's guilty or not is of little immediate importance. We have to do things by the book, especially now. You have to keep the troops in line, don't you? The nobles are getting restless. Is this because of what happened in the arena? I know not everyone was happy with about what you did. Despite the backlash, I'm still convinced it was the right thing to do. He more than deserved his fate. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and that notification bell. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!